Good afternoon to you from wherever you're watching this live broadcast from, and thank you so much for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you this Sunday afternoon. A lot of stories you're keeping a keen eye on for you, from general news and also sports, as well as that presidential town hall which is set to happen this evening in Mombasa County, where the president is set to engage with Wananchi this evening. Our very own John Jacob Curia is there for us, and momentarily we shall be linking up with him to just tell us more of what to expect from this specific town hall. This is KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen. Baringo is our sign language interpreter. And now, Makueni County Senator Dan Manzo is calling on the Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Ingonga, to resign for what he terms as failure to charge rogue police officers involved in the killing of youths during the recent Gen Z protests. Speaking during the burial of 21-year-old Alex Muteti, who was fatally shot by the police in Kibwezi at the peak of the protest, Manzo said there were other ways of collecting evidence without necessarily relying on the same police who were involved in the shooting and abducting of protesters.
But the DPP, the law is still there. The law says you can have inquest for each single death. We want the inquest for Alex Muteti. If you know you have no evidence, let's have public inquest. Let the magistrate sit, let the public come, and they'll give you a report as to who killed Alex. So do not say you cannot charge anybody. Ofisi yako ni ya muhimu sana. The office of the DPP is very important. If that office is compromised, is intimidated, then you should resign.
To some politics now, where opposition leader Raila Odinga has maintained that the Orange Democratic Movement has no coalition agreement with President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza alliance. He further clarified that ODM was still in the opposition and part of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. This as Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga faulted Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka and his allies in the coalition for allegedly instigating a plot to dethrone Raila Odinga from his position as Azimio leader.
Days after 4 Orange Democratic Movement leaders were nominated to join the cabinet, ODM leader Raila Odinga now maintains that his party is still in the opposition.
But we say that if you want to take some of our experts and get into your government, you release them to join your government and work in accordance with the ethics of our party, ODM and Azimio.
The Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition leader, who spoke at Nyachunya village in the outskirts of Siaya town during the late Evans Orenjo's burial, said ODM has no pact with the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition.
You have not changed. The position has not changed. We said we want to see a new Kenya, and the people of Kenya are entitled to it. And that's why we said we agree with Gen Z.
He maintained that he will head the calls to mount pressure on the government to address the issues raised by Gen Z.
The issues that have been raised by Gen Zs are not new issues. There are similar issues which we raised last time, even last year on the streets. We talked about unemployment in our country. We talked about high cost of living in our country. We talked about corruption, rampant corruption in the country. We talked about tribalism and ethnicity, discrimination in our country.
Separately, Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga accused a section of Azimio la Umoja coalition leaders led by Kalonzo Musyoka of attempting to dethrone Raila Odinga.
And the day that Azimio leader Raila Odinga will leave the seat, it will be up to him to say with his team that he is leaving for whatever reason. But today, what I have seen from the meeting saying that now Raila is no longer the leader of Azimio, that they have put somebody else, I find it to be like a coup.
Wanga spoke at Agoro Sare Primary School during the distribution of 3 school buses in Kasipul. Give us Minor Lunchtime News.
Right, very quickly, we now turn the crack to Mombasa County, where the president is set to engage members of the public this evening in a town hall session. Our very own JJ Curia has been there for us. Curia, what is the mood and feel from the general public, and also what more should we expect this evening? Curia.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doreen Arange. Like you rightly say, we are at the Kenya School of Government. This will be the venue of a very important engagement with the head of state as part of his continued, or rather what he's promised Kenyans, of continued engagement in the coming moments, of course, in the coming weeks and months, meant to really encompass the views of Kenyans in governance following what has been happening in the country. And this will be the first town hall meeting being organized by the president. But we'll talk about the town hall in a bit. Let me just take you through the last 5 days or about 4 days when the president has been here. Remember, he landed here on Thursday evening and he began his official engagements in Mombasa County. That is on Friday. And you'll remember on Friday, here in Mombasa County, he gave grants to marine fisheries right here in Mombasa County. And the second day took him to Kilifi County, where he laid a foundation stone for the Watamu market, as well as launched the Baricho Water Works and the last mile connectivity project in Bamba. That's all in Kilifi County. And of course, the engagements in Mombasa, or rather at the coast, have also taken him to Kwale County for the launch of a Kinango TVET. There's the Mwananyamala Industrial Park, where he also laid the foundation stone for that, as well as the Matuga Industrial Park project in Kwale County. There is the Kinondo Cotton Ginnery, and laid the foundation stone for the Diani Modern Market. That actually happened yesterday. And of course, before he closed the day yesterday, he also laid the foundation stone for the Likoni Modern Market that is in Mombasa County. Today, the president is in Taita Taveta County. Actually, as we speak, the last he was engaging residents of Mwatate in Taita Taveta County from a church service in Taita. And his engagement in the coast really ends tomorrow when he finishes off his engagements in Tana River County. That means that through these 4 days, he will cover the entire leg of the coastal counties, or what you call Jumuiya ya County Zapwani. But what is happening here tonight? From around 7:30 p.m., the president will be engaging stakeholders in the coast region. You will remember, following what has been happening across the country, the president has promised that he will be engaging Kenyans, and regularly so that he's in touch with what is happening most likely, and of course also see what needs to, or rather what needs his interventions, particularly the immediate interventions that need to happen. So at the auditorium you see behind me, there will be about 200 residents of a coast region and drawn across sectors in this area who will be engaging the president, who will be sitting in this dais where I'm standing, and then the stakeholders will be sitting on that auditorium that you see, and will be having a live engagement with the president regarding issues that are affecting the country, and also probably issues that are really largely that cut across the coastal counties. And you remember issues of fishing, issues of the running of a port, issues of running of, for example, the standard gauge railway, issues really that are going to prop up. And those stakeholders will be engaging the president really on how his government can help them, and also can help in the management of these issues. This happens right here tonight from 7:30 all the way up until around 9, and the president really will be engaging. This engagement really will be live on KBC Channel 1 and across all our platforms. So if you're a listener of any of our radio stations, this engagement will be live on our radio stations. It will be live on our YouTube page. It will be live across the social media platforms of the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, and indeed live on KBC Channel 1. You can catch that conversation as the president engages the coastal residents. This is the inaugural town hall meeting happening right here at the coast, and it will go across the country. He will be engaging stakeholders in different sectors across the country. You will remember also this comes even as the president begins what you would say the formation of his government. You remember he said he's engaged in the process of forming a broad-based government. He has already forwarded nominees to to Parliament for vetting, and that exercise kicks off next week, Thursday. And this engagement really is a continuation of what he has started, and what he says is part of a listening government, and that is what will be happening here. Let me take you back to Doreen Arange, but be sure to catch up with our action once we are ready from this end. That is from around 7:30 p.m. Doreen.
Thank you very much, JJ Curia, for that. The case G in Mombasa County, and remember this is where to stay glued at the KBC Channel 1 beginning 7:30 p.m. tonight, where that town hall session will be taking place. The president will also be engaging members of the public as well on the same, as he said, not just on the station, but also on various other platforms, including radio station as well as the digital platform that is inclusive of Facebook as well as YouTube. Back in studio, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has been faulted over its perceived inaction amid increased allegations of police brutality, arbitrary arrests and abductions of peaceful protesters, especially the youths. Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka called on the families who lost their kin during the recent anti-tax protest. Kalonzo spoke at the burial service of Alexander Mwendwa Mwova in Kuso Mwingi, North Kitui County. He was accompanied by Wiper members led by Area Member of Parliament Paul Nzengu, Kitui County Woman Representative Irene Kasalu, and Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua, among others.
We also want to say we may have no confidence in IPOA. If you are given and you are constitutional office, fanya kazi yako bila uoga. Hatuwezi damu ya watoto ipotee tu namna hii. So sisi tunasema askari ambao walipiga vijana risasi washikwe, tuone wameshikwa. Lono huyu alipiga yule risasi, wengine walionekana kwa hizo mapicha zao. Wanajua huyu. Wakitaka nitawaambia mmoja mahali nilimpata akijificha mbele.
Exactly 13 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for our first break. We recoil with plenty more, including the latest in the sporting scene. This is KBC Lunchtime News. Stay with us.
Kenya ni nchi ya mabingwa na
hapa hakuna shortcut.
Kuwa bingwa ni kujitolea, kujituma.
Mabingwa hutambua mabingwa wenzao.
Mabingwa hurauka kabla ya jua kuchomoka. Wengine kuwa mabingwa wa familia. Mabingwa huhakikisha tunashine kama mabingwa. Wao hutulisha vyema. Ma-influencer wa kutuconnect mtandaoni. Mabingwa, wale ambao hutuongoza.
Sisi wote ni mabingwa.
Kijana hapo mbele, mzee hapo nyuma. Jamaa na jembe. Boda aliyemleta jamaa na jembe. Msichana wa kibao. Memba wa bodi, msichana wa maziwa.
Sisi wote ni Team Kenya.
Hapa ni Pangani ambapo tumeingia bwaloni kusikiliza wamejiandaa namna gani.
Kukurukakara ni vigogo wa Kiswahili Pangani.
Wanawake wana uhuru wa kuvalia jinsi wapendavyo. Kwani iko nini?
Kama wanaume wanao uhuru wa kuvaa wanachotaka, basi wanawake pia wapewe uhuru wa kuvaa wanachotaka.
Dunia ya sasa hakuna mwanamke ambaye atapewa uhuru wa kuvalia anavyotaka kisha avalie nguo ya adabu. Wanawake watavalia nguo ambazo haziwasitiri uchi. Hivyo matokeo ni nini? Juu sana bendera yetu Kenya.
Welcome back. And our Green Africa Foundation, a non-governmental organization, has rolled out clean cooking jikos in Kitui County in a bid to conserve the environment and curb carbon emissions. Speaking to the media during the Kitui County Agriculture Show, Green Africa Foundation chairperson Dr. Isaac Kalua Green urged Kenyans to embrace the modern clean cooking jikos. The jikos also use minimal charcoal or briquettes, thus curbing cutting of trees for charcoal burning.
Jiko bora Malkia na liko na chuma hiki, kuna hiki chuma ambacho kinaitwa cast iron top, ambayo hii chuma inasaidia wakati, kwa sababu ina conduct ama inashika moto kwa haraka, hivyo inaokoa wakati na iko economical kwa sababu ya ile makaa inatumika ni kidogo. Hii jiko itasaidia conservation ya miti. Number 2, inasaidia ile hewa ambayo tunapumua inakuwa ni hewa safi. Kwa nini? Mwanzo ina reduce smoke by 75%.
Wakati tunatunza mazingira, pia tunazuia uharibifu wa mazingira na tunaendeleza uchumi wa watu wetu.
Now, Kapedo Bridge, found at the border of Baringo and Turkana counties, remains a bandit-prone area, dreaded by communities living on its either sides. Frequent banditry attacks have scared away public transport vehicles, leaving the residents with no choice but to use police lorries and land cruisers, which only ply the route on Mondays and Thursdays.
The high hilly grounds that nestle Kapedo Bridge render it prone to banditry, as the criminals easily take cover and hit targets from vantage points.
Well, we don't have chiefs, we don't have ACCs, we don't have government presence, we don't have hospitals, we don't have schools.
Wanawake wengi wenye wako na mimba, hata mwingine mwenye ameisha damu, wanakufia hapa kijijini.
This has denied residents a reliable public transport system for close to 3 decades.
Hatuna pikipiki, hatuna lori, hatuna matatu, hatuna kitu lolote ya watu kusafiria.
The biggest problem is this road is not developed, and that has really impeded private investors to bring their own vehicle.
A Chigi bus was the last public transport vehicle seen plying the route in 1997 on the Kapedo-Chamelingot-Nakuru route. Since then, police lorries and land cruisers that ply the route only on Mondays and Thursdays have been the locals' only means of transport.
Ile gari ambayo sisi tunatumianga hapa sana ni ile ya askari.
Kama kuna kitu imetumaliza zaidi ni usafiri.
Kutokuwa na hiyo magari ya kusafiri kuanzia huko mpaka hapa ni kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa usalama.
This has forced them to shop in bulk for their necessities, including firewood. Insecurity has rendered residents of Kapedo town, that sits on barely 18 hectares, prisoners, as moving outside their boundary is life-threatening.
Hii daraja hii ni ile ya wakati ya wasungu. I think it was 60s, ni ya 60s.
2022 mwezi wa 8 waliweza kuchomwa na watu 11 waliweza kupoteza maisha katika njia ya moto, na wakati huo center ya Kapedo ikama.
Chilling records of people who have lost their lives here include that of GSU Commandant Amadou Tebakok, who was killed on the 17th of January 2021.
Askari wameuliwa hapo, mkubwa ya RDU aliuliwa hapo, maaskari wengi wamepoteza maisha hapo, na hata wakazi wa Kapedo hapa walipoteza maisha hapo.
Tumepoteza wazazi, tumepoteza watoto wadogo, tumepoteza wanawake.
The other route into and out of Kapedo is through Lomelo, Napeitom, Lokoro, but its passage through Kasarani Plains is equally dangerous, with 21 police officers having been shot dead there in 2014. Peace missions between the warring Turkana and Pokot communities have not yet yielded much.
Kidogo tu wakati wanasema iko amani kidogo, ndio watu sasa wanaanza kukimbia kusanya, ikiumana at least yako na kuni ama ni kuni tu, kwa sababu huwezi choma makaa.
Ni Mungu tulikosea, serikali tulikosea, ama ni nini kipo mahali hapa ili sikuje ikabadilika ikawa kama miji mingine ya nchi ya Kenya.
Combating illiteracy and underdevelopment is now being seen as the lasting solution. Serafina Robi for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, President William Ruto is now calling on all Kenyans to unite and work together for the prosperity of the nation. Speaking at a church service in Taita Taveta County, the head of state said it is time for all leaders to rise above their political differences and cooperate in improving Kenya. The president has also urged the church to continue interceding for the state.
Ninyi watu wa Taita Taveta mkijulikana sana kama watu wanaomheshimu na kumwabudu Mungu. Niwaulize ninyi huku milimani muweze kuomba kwa ajili ya taifa letu. Nikiwauliza Wakenya wote tuungane katika majira haya ya kuunganisha taifa letu, kuleta Wakenya pamoja, kufanya kazi kwa pamoja, kupanga maendeleo ya taifa letu pamoja na kushirikiana kama Wakenya katika yale yote ambayo tungetaka taifa letu tuyatimize, ndio tuweze kuwa na Kenya bora kuliko Kenya ambayo tuko nayo na yale ambayo tunaashiria na kuyatumainia, so that God in his own way can make our country the greater.
The spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, has vowed that she will not relent in the fight against alcoholism, drugs and substance abuse across the country. Speaking during a sensitization forum for high school students at Machakos University as part of a preventive program against addictions, Pastor Dorcas said that at least 1,400 addicts had been through the rehabilitation program and will be connected to job opportunities.
One of the areas you'll find is if you go to some of the counties where you used to find young men dirty and lying on the road, now we don't find that one as much. And that tells me there is an indication that this war is being fought, and we pray that we are going to win. There are about 1,200 plus the other 200 that we graduated last year. That is 1,400 that have graduated from this, and we are connecting them to job, and others we are tutoring them. And when you can do like 1,200, for me, I think that is a success.
Say no to addiction. Say no to depression.
The family of a 50-year-old Rosa Mukwandiga from Isiolo have all reasons to smile after the Methodist Church of Kenya and Compassion International moved her from her dilapidated house to a 4-roomed house. Rose, her 9 children and 2 grandchildren were victims of a fire and the recent floods that left them displaced.
This is what 50-year-old Rosa Mukwandiga and her family from Isiolo County had called home for a while. A house fairly small for her large family of 11 that barely protected them from adverse weather conditions like the recent floods.
Sasa baridi ilikuwa mingi, maji iliingia kwa nyumba hata ikajaa, hata materesi, mablanketi, yote ilikuwa maji tupu. Mahali nilikuwa naishi, nyumba ilichomeka, nikabaki empty.
She will, however, have a reason to smile following the building of this house thanks to a partnership between the Methodist Church of Kenya and a donor organization. A more decent home for her family, Rosa couldn't hide her joy.
Hata kama kutanyesha sasa, unajua hakuna maji itakuja inipite. Hapana, niko sawa kabisa, salama.
Sai huko tuko vizuri, tuko in a better place.
5 other vulnerable households have benefited from similar initiatives by the Church and Compassion International.
Tunajua kwamba in the community huwezi kukosa a need, but now we go for the needy of the neediest.
Isufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now, a family in Juja, Kiambu County, has been living in agony as they search for their 14-year-old daughter who disappeared from their home in Mugutha Estate 2.5 months ago. Julia Wairimu says efforts to locate her daughter Daisy Wanjiku, a Form 1 student at Kahuhia Girls High School in Murang'a County, have been unsuccessful so far. And according to Wairimu, police arrested 3 suspects and later released them pending further investigations.
Wakati alipata ile namba, ndiposa polisi wakapelekewa, wakaweza kufuatilia na wakapata kijana penye anasoma ako shuleni. Wakati walienda kwa hiyo shule, wakaenda wakamshika huyo kijana, akaweza kupeana namba ya, akasema mtoto alikuja huko kwake on Friday 17th mwezi wa 5 na akaweza kutoka on Saturday. Sasa tunaomba usaidizi zaidi ndio huyu mtoto wangu tuweze kujua pahali walimficha ama walimtorosha wakampeleka. Kama mama yako, ningeomba uweze kuwasiliana nami, namba yangu ya simu najua, na hata namba ya baba yako.
Naivasha Member of Parliament Jen Kihara is raising concerns over the rising number of children dropping out of school to join the illegal fishing trade at Lake Naivasha. According to Kihara, majority of the learners leaving school are from informal settlements. Sentiments which were echoed by Mirera High School Principal Apollo Kamau, who admitted that tens of students had left the institution and are engaging in illegal fishing. They spoke during a prize-giving ceremony at the school.
We have a problem of child labor affecting mostly some boys who are involved in fishing activities in the nearby Lake Naivasha.
Kuvua samaki ni sawa, lakini kama mtoto hajamaliza shule, hajapata ile kipawa ya kujisaidia hapo nyuma, itakuwa ni kama amejipoteza ama anapotea.
A family residing in Donholm, Nairobi County is appealing for financial assistance to raise 15 million shillings for life-saving bone marrow transplants to be done in India for their 2 children, both diagnosed with sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell disease affects the hemoglobin with the red blood cells, where a genetic mutation causes abnormal hemoglobin to clump together, causing the red blood cells to turn sickle-shaped. These sickle-shaped cells cause blockages in blood flow, which can lead to anemia, pain, infections, and severe complications.
The last 1.5 years have been a distressing journey for the Jos Davis family. Zoriel Derek, the firstborn, began showing distressing symptoms at just 7 months old.
He could cry a lot at night, but we didn't know what was happening with him. But with the time when he got to around 2 years, 1 month to 2 years, he became sick. That is this year, early this year, around April. He was sick consecutively, almost every week, taking him for medications. Then also after some time, he be sick again, so we took him to the hospital.
Despite numerous visits to various hospitals, the cause of his suffering remained a mystery.
Unfortunately, there was nothing much. We were only told that he had infection, of which he was treated. He was given some injections, but still when we came back home, he was still crying.
When Zoriel was finally diagnosed with sickle cell anemia and his parents were informed of bone marrow transplant as among the interventions needed to manage the condition, the young couple hoped Zoriel's younger sister, Nisha Helida, would be a perfect donor. To their dismay, Nisha was diagnosed with the same condition.
When I saw the result, actually it was not even really explained to me, but I just compared it with the one for the brother, because I also repeated his test and they were the same results. And the interpretation for the doctor was that they are likely sickle cell disease.
Financially, the burden has been overwhelming. The family requires 15 million shillings for 2 bone marrow transplants.
It beats my heart, it pains me, because I'm like 50% parent. I feel that they might survive or they might die anytime.
So far, we have some groups that are contributing for us, and so far I can say total money that we can say we have as at now, we have around 1.6 million for those who have pledged, and the cash we have at hand. And we are still looking forward to get more because the cost is huge.
Contributions towards the family can be channeled through paybill number 400-200, account number 305747, business name Just Davis Child Treatment. Jacqueline Mashara for Lunchtime News.
To some sporting action now. The National Rugby Sevens head coach Kevin Wambua says they have gained crucial experience following their 9th place finish at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Meanwhile, Alexandra Ndolo lost her round of 16 EP match to Ukrainian Olena Krivesta. Our reporter Bernard Kumu, who is in Paris, has the details.
Alexandra Ndolo led 2-1 after the first round, but her Ukrainian opponent, Olena Krivesta, fought back in the second round and took a slender 6-7 lead. The two were inseparable in the final round with the scores tied at 12-all. The match went into extra time with Olena edging Alexandra 13-12 in sudden death.
I hope that all the little ones watching at home are not too upset with me because I didn't bring us home a medal. I think they can, even though now I'm obviously very upset. I hope they can see the fun that this game can bring, and I just hope we can grow the sport. I hope we can bring more stability and also professionalism into the whole organization.
Meanwhile, the National Rugby Sevens head coach Kevin Wambua says the squad has paid crucial lessons following their 9th place finish the 2024 Olympic Games.
We had a goal, we dared to dream, we wanted to get out of our pool and see if we can challenge the top teams. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but still proud. Day one, playing against Argentina, series champs. Being in that game until the last 2 minutes, same to Australia, shows the potential that the boys have.
It's all about building from the Olympics. We know very well what we are capable of. We fell short for the quarterfinals, but eventually what matters is the small steps that we took afterwards.
We had our best and finally managed to be number 9 of the tournament. It is a good start for us since most of us are not experienced, and we are facing some tough and experienced teams and sides, and I can say I really appreciate this moment and really proud of the team. We put all we had and the results came in.
With nearly a quarter of the squad making their debut at the Olympics, the squad is relishing their chances in the World Sevens circuit.
The National Rugby Sevens team Shuja replicating their performance that they did achieve 4 years ago in Tokyo. They finished 9th here at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Definitely this result puts them in good stead ahead of their return to the HSBC Sevens. Reporting for Channel 1 Sports from Stade de France in Paris, France, I'm Bernard Okumu.
Thank you, Bernard, for that. And now, hosts France extended their good run in the Paris Olympics after registering a 1-0 victory over Saheli National of Guinea. Meanwhile, world champions Argentina beat Iraq 3-1 as European champions. Spain registered the same result over Dominican Republic.
A Guinea goalkeeper. France haven't had a chance. They might get one here. Akliouche looking to deliver. Repelled fairly easily by Mohamed Souma. It's a clever ball through. Al-Jassim-Ba, matched though for pace by Lukeba. Just to give you an idea of how much talent France possess in this age group. Still going Olise, excellent work to get back by Diallo. Moriba's given it away. Diallo helping out again defensively. The corner flag. Guinea starting to sit too deep defensively. Lukeba with the cross. Olise just didn't keep his eye on it. Didn't gamble on the ball reaching him. Olise back in. And there is the goal for France. Kylian Sigilia with it. They had been threatening in recent minutes. It's a painful blow, this, for Guinea. They've been so valiant throughout.
Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz 2024 Paris Olympics pairing started with a first-round win over Andres Molteni and Maximo Gonzalez in the men's doubles. The Spanish duo beat the Argentine 6th seed 7-6, 6-4 in front of a packed court Philippe Chartier in Paris. Nadal was Alcaraz's childhood hero, and the two have paired up in what is expected to be Nadal's final season. Alcaraz has long been described as Nadal's successor, having won his first French Open title in June before defending his Wimbledon crown just 2 weeks ago. Rasmus Højlund and new signing Lenny Yoro both suffered first-half injuries as Manchester United lost their opening US tour game 2-1 to Premier League rivals Arsenal in Los Angeles. Højlund scored the United while Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli were on target for the Gunners.
Goals from Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli assured Arsenal a hard-fought comeback to register a 2-1 win over the Red Devils.
Profits from it, and Arsenal have their equaliser. Now Martinelli. Oh, Martinelli did really well.
In another match, AC Milan came back twice to register a 3-2 win over Premier League champions Manchester City.
It back again into the penalty area. Here he goes, Oscar Bob. Haaland scores. Bob with a pullback. Two City players around him. Lovely ball in, and that's a finish from Colombo. And he sort of chested it in, and it was Ederson doing his best to keep it out, but he couldn't. Grealish is now blocking the run. Chukwueze, who set up the equaliser. In the penalty area, another dink ball, Colombo again! Same combination, Chukwueze with a cross, Colombo with a finish. Hamilton in the left wing spot, tries a couple of step-overs, gets beyond the last defender, clips in a dangerous ball, and City equalise through McAtee! City 2, Milan 2. Calabria into Salamanca's in the right wing position, ball across the area, terrific finish, and AC Milan lead by 3-2.
Chelsea also suffered a 4-1 loss to Celtic.
Good, because he is. And Kunku, 4-1.
All right, time for me to now exit and sit ground for the next program. This has been KBC Lunchtime News. Definitely appreciate your valid company. I'm Doreen Arange. Baron Abuli has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.
Olympics is the greatest sports opportunity for any athlete. Out of the millions of athletes in the world, we have only 10,500 who get that one privileged opportunity to be able to participate in the Olympics. We have 70 of our great athletes out of those 10,500. They become part of a very exclusive club of Olympians, and they'll always be known as the Olympians all through their life. They are flying our flag, representing over 50 million of us. We are wishing them all the best. We've done what we could with the resources which are available to prepare them so they can be able to exploit their talent, express themselves. We've met them, we've discussed, we've encouraged them, and even as they start competing, we're asking that they give it 100%. If the 100% gives us a win, that would be good. If the 100% goes into record as having competed bravely, then that would be very good. As Kenyans, this is a great opportunity to remind us that we all are under the Kenyan flag, the national anthem being played in foreign land because of the exploits of our athletes will be something we can live for. We know we've had a lot of challenges in different aspects, but in the next 12 to 14 days, it gives us an opportunity to be able to celebrate our nationhood, our resilience, our strength, and most importantly, our unity in terms of being behind our athletes, supporting them, praying for them, and wishing them very, very good success as they represent us.